Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Mr. Mohammed Ibrahim. Today I'm going to continue on the Specimen Paper series ICT IGCSE 0417. So I'm going to take task 3 spreadsheet. So let's start. We are going to prepare an invoice using a spreadsheet for Ticket Storage. This company makes and sells storage devices. All prices in euros must be displayed to the decimal places. Make sure that you use efficient formula. Open and examine the file, SP invoice and SSD. So it's SSD.csv and in a spreadsheet type. So this is the files, this is the SSD. As you see, we have column 1, 2, 3, 4 column. Each column, you can see all the data by root column. You just go to column, double click between any of the cells. So 1, 2, 3, 4 column. So in column 1, we have the code for each product and the unit price, the capacity, and the mode. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is for the first one. The second one, we have the invoice. So in the invoice, we have to enter something here, product code, to find the number of items, or good to enter the number of items in here, and from it you can see the model, the capacity, the unit price, and the price, and we have to give the total of this price. So and adding some others. So let's see the question paper. We open and examine the file, save the invoice the PSB as spreadsheet with the file name invoice followed by the central number candidate number. For example, invoice 99-999. So I'm going to take this and save it like it. So to save it, go here, file, from file, go to save as, and browse. You have to make sure you browse it in so click on the PC and click on the folder, and this time you have to give the name of this document and make sure you save it with the file name or file type as Excel workbook. So click on it and click on save. So now we save the file. So let's see what next. So in the next question, so after that he said merge cell A1 to F1, format the top of the spreadsheet to look like this. So I have to merge all of the cells like this and format the first top one in here to be like this. So make sure you have this space in here and you format it to be D star after the F. Make sure also you merge cells center align from A1 to F1. So let's do that. Simply to do this, highlight the cell. Let me just show you how to do that. So simply highlight the cells from A1 to F1, and you can simply from home go to merge cell and click merge center. You can also click on it, make the size of the text bigger or smaller, depends on the question. So we need it to be like this, as you see in the question paper. So you say format the first cell to be like this. So I format the first cell to be like this. So save that, and after that he say in question number 9, place your name, center number, and candidate number left align in the footer. So to do this, simply you can go to view, and from view you can go to page layout, and from page layout if you go down here you will find header and footer area. From insert, go to insert, click anywhere inside the first you have to click anywhere inside the document, and from insert you can click header, or from view you can go to header or footer, click on header. Now you can go to footer by click on footer, or go footer from here, from view go footer after you highlight it. So in the left align, so I have to add my name, subject number, and candidate number. So So after you're checking your things, you have to go to view, and from view go to normal, and to check is you do the data correctly, go to print, and you will see in the print area down in the left you have your enter your name, center number, and candidate number. Back to the question paper. So in question paper, the examiner say place, and this question is for 12 mark, placing function in cell C9 to E9 to look up the model capacity and the unit price for each item using the product code for the lookup value and the external file SSD space for CSV to the array. And make sure that if no data is entered in the product column key, the product code column, then nothing is displayed in that. So C9 to E9. So let's see the SSD. So in SSD we have column 1, 2, 3, 4. The code is SSD 1. This is the code. We have to use this. If we enter this, this must give me the unit price that is in the model for each of the SSD. So to do this, simply go to the original folder, and here I have to look up the model. So to do this, easy, double click in here and go and click on FX and search for lookup. This is going to give you this data. So if the product code is in the table array, which is this table array, so I have to highlight all the table like this. In this table array, it's going to be logged by absolute, or you see the dollar sign is logged. That means it's absolute value. And I'm looking for the model, and the model is in column number 4. So if you look up here, you see the model is 1, means column 1, 2, 3, 4 from the left, so in column number 4. And I want the exact match, so I click on 1 from the keyboard and click on OK. So this NA must not show because I'm not typing anything in product code. So if I write down SSD1 in here, this must give me the code for the model for the SSD. So back in here, you see this is the model for the SSD. So back here, if I delete this one, you will see now NA means it's nil or empty. So I don't want to see this NA. To make this, I have to add if function by go at the beginning of the VLOOKUP function and add if double click on the if to activate it, and if this function is if this cell is equal to speedshine mean is equal to empty or 0, then by pressing comma, then speedshine nothing must display, and this mean is empty, so the speedshine is mean empty, nil or 0. So I use the speedshine to represent the empty sign. So speedshine. Then if it's true, nothing is must display. So if cell A9 is empty, speedshine, then what? Then nothing is must display. Speedshine. Otherwise, I have to give this formula, and don't forget to log your function by add as a bracket by, and then click on enter. So nothing is showing now. If I add SSD1 here, it must display like this because I entered the SSD1 in cell E9. So if I delete this one, you see there's nothing is applied in here. Nothing is seen. So let me give the SSD1 to make it more easier for you. Now if I wanna find the capacity, the unit price, you see the capacity is in column number 3 and the unit price in column number 2. So simply you can highlight this, double click on this one and just copy this formula by copy it and paste it in here, and just change this time. You have to change the column index number. So the capacity in column index number 3, so change this to 3, unlock it. And for the unit price is in column index number 2. They have changed the 4 to 2. Simply and easy and you don't have to enter any things, just copy the data and paste it whatever you want. And 2, and just click on delete. So if I delete this one, nothing is must appear in any of this set. So simply delete this one and see what's going to happen. So nothing is display, no NA, because I write the formula correctly. By you can check the formula from here. Okay, also you can check the capacity from here. This column index free, and the unit price in here, column index no. So let's add the SSD one just to make it more easier for us. So go back to the question paper. The examiner say make place in cell F9 the formula to multiply the number of item by the unit price. You see the number of item in here is empty. So if I add 10 in here, so this formula I have to add in here must multiply the number of items by the capacity. Excuse me, by the unit of price. The number of items by the unit of price. So to do this, simply you can type the formula manually by going and activate this cell and type equal sign this cell multiply by this cell and click on enter. Now you see it's multiplying the 10 by the 840 and it's giving you 840. So that's easy. And he said make sure if no data is entered in the number of item column, then nothing is must display in F9. So if I go back here and delete the 10, let me change the C to C. Let me change the 10 to 5 or 6, for example, to see if it's applied correctly. Now it's multiplied just by that. So if I delete this one, I don't want to see this 0 in here. So to do this, simply double click and go at the beginning of the cell or E9 and add if function, another if function, if this function, if this cell is, if this cell is equal to speshine or empty, then comma, nothing is must display, speshine. Otherwise, you should give me this formula, and that's it. You must close the bracket by go at the end and at the end and press on. As you see, nothing is displaying here because we have the formula already. We have the formula. You see it here, and nothing is displayed because we hide it, the add and use the if function. So let me add, for example, this time 9. So 9 multiplied by this number must give me this, or add 10 to make it more easier. 10. So you see it in here. So, and if the examiner say replicate the formula entered in step 10 and 11 for rows 10 to 9. So I have to replicate the formula, 2 formulas. I apply it, and so let me just replicate the model, or let me replicate this one first to 19, for example, or 20. The examiner say to 20 or 19. Let me see, to 21. 9 to 21. 9, so 9 until 21. So that's it. I have to just double click on here to add each of the data that is shown by just double click on the, yeah, so just highlight and drag it down until see comma, then nothing is displayed. This is empty, then nothing is displayed. Yeah. So just replicate this one until here. What's the problem? Okay, let me double check it. Let me see. Go back to the question paper. He say place in cell F21 a function to calculate the total of the price in price column. Look at the formula for each one. So I have to enter something in the price cell. I need to replicate or place in cell. Say place in cell F21 function to calculate the total of the price. Oh, okay. You can go back here and go and click on total column numbers F21 total here. I don't want this one. I'm going to delete this one because we don't need it. So in total, I have to count the price unit. So I have to double click in here. This one multiply by this one, and let me duplicate this one. I need to just count or the number of the price in here and give it in this area. So let me delete this and go back here, delete this one and click in here and click on equal sign sum to calculate all the values in here. Use the sum function and the sum of those and close the bracket. It's going to give you this number in here. So the examiner said in question 14, apply appropriate formatting to cell all the cell in the rows 9 to 21. As you see in the beginning of the question, the examiner said in here apply the euro for all the currency value and must display into decimal place. So I'm going to apply this by highlight both of the unit price and price, and also I have to give the total as a unit euro, then it must show into decimal place. To do this, go to home, and from home you see number in here. Click on the small arrow and go to currency and make sure it's two decimal place in here, and now you can see and change it to euro. I'm going to see where is euro is. So this is the euro. I'm going to use the standard euro for it and click on OK. So now you see the euro is applied and it's two decimal place for each data in the unit price, and total. So that's it. Go back and see what is the next question. So in question 14, I done from this one. In question 15, he said print all the spreadsheets showing the formula and make sure it's in the landscape orientation and rows and column headings on display. The grid lines on display. All the contents of the cell are fully visible. So let me see. Go back to the question paper. So we'll go back to the. So here I need to show the formula. So to show formula, simply you can highlight all of the things in here by just click on this corner in here and go to view or formula, and from formula you can see show formula. From here click on show formula. So now you can see all of your formula. Highlight, double click between any of the cell, and now you can print this one. Go to file and click on print. Now you can see the data is shown in here, and you see we have all of the data shown with the formula, but I need to just see the grid lines and column and heading row and make sure it's in the page orientation. Let me see, the page orientation is landscape. So let me see, to add the column and headings you can print, go to page setup, click on the page setup. It's going to print, it's open this dialog box. Go to landscape and go to merge cell, footer sheets. You can add column and grid lines and rows and column headings by activate them by go to sheet, and from here you can go to click on OK. You see this is the grid lines and the rows and column headings are displayed. I think there is something in here must display. Let me go back. This must be center line. It's too bigger. See? Yeah, make it a little bit bigger like this. Have to drag it down. Drag it a little bit. Drag it down. Yeah, so it should be like this. And go to file and print. So no, I don't think I must change any of this because the examiner doesn't say change any of this. So go back to the question paper and go to file, print. You see all the red lines showing the column headings and show. You have to click on print to print this data. Then the next question, question 16, say enter the address shown and format it to look like this. So let me enter this data. I have to go to view or formula and show formula, anti the formula, show the formula, and have to just maximize the view to see my data. Highlight the corner, double click between any of the cell to see all of your data, and go home. This is good. Okay, now I can add the address. Simply go to and enter the address. So the address is Tawara Technology Solution. I have to enter Tawara Technology Solution. Tawara Technology Solution. Tawara Technology Solution, and the next data is 32 Axia and Tawara and 4567. So let's type anything for the time being here, just for making the video more short, and I have to apply a specific format for this data. You see all of the data is left aligned and it is not bold, so highlight here, double click. All of the data must be left aligned, so make sure it's left aligned. And let me see if there is any change in here. No, just like this. So I enter the data, so enter the product code in the number of item 1 and 10, 1 and 10, 1 and SSD 18 and SSD 14. So SSD 18, SSD 14, I have to add them in A and SSD 14, SSD 34, 34, and 3, 8, and this is 40, it's 80. I have to enter 80 in here. So it's give me this data. You say enter it, I enter the data and save your spreadsheet to print the entire spreadsheet showing the values. So I have to save it for the time being, and let me delete all of this data. I don't need any of this. Let me delete them. So this is data that I need them to be shown. So let me replicate this function here, 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 and here. So let me also replicate this one. So I don't need any of this. I can delete this one. So now you can see this is the data mass. So I have to save this and print any things inside this uh, folder by go to file and print, and from this file okay, I have to print out it in a single page, and the content of all cells must be fully visible. The grid lines are not displayed. The rows and column headings are not displayed. To do this, simply go to page setup and go to sheet, rows and headings. You have to untick them, and the grid lines, untick them. Click on OK. You see this is the data must look like, and see, save this work. By saving this work, you finish from task 3, the spreadsheet. So thank you very much for watching my video. I have another videos about the spreadsheet. There is a lot of questions about the spreadsheet. So I have to give a series of videos of the spreadsheet and the function, the formula, and how to differentiate between them, how to deal with the spreadsheet in another video. So thank you very much for watching my video. This is Mr. Muhammad Ibrahim. Have a good time and bye bye.